Yo, it is so crazy how life works, but I just had to make this video. It's a very ratchet setup right now. I have moved into my new apartment. My room isn't set up yet, and I just had to make this video because I have spent the last couple days watching a lot of different videos that just made me feel like I need to talk about this, so I'm gonna talk about it. So, on October 16th of 2018, I posted a video called, sorry, I'm looking over here because I need my references, y'all know I can't remember anything for shit. I posted a video called Black Booktubers Always Quit. Is BookTube Racist? And it was a response video to several videos that have been brought up in our community, i.e. is BookTube racist, Black Booktubers not invited at the Hate You Give movie set, so many things that really concerned me that I noticed in our community that were going on, and I just felt the need to speak out about it. And I find it very interesting that here we are in May 2019, and this issue has now spilled over to YouTube at large. I have spent the past week watching videos such as, why is there a lack of diversity on YouTube? This was initially spurred on by an event that occurred with an influencer brand trip that a company named Dote took a whole bunch of girls to. I believe it was Coachella, and there were hardly any minority women or young girls on this trip. I believe they threw in a few black women, or maybe a black woman, a few biracial women, something like that. Maybe there was one Asian young woman. I don't even think there was a Latina woman. They just did a really shitty job of diversifying their trip. There were 30 girls invited on this trip, and they all looked the same. And it wasn't just the color of their skin. They were all thin, like nearly caricatures of one another in a strange way. And I mean nothing against these young women. I honestly don't even watch these women's channels, and I don't really even know who they are. So I certainly mean nothing against them because I do not know them, and I have nothing to gain from speaking ill of them. But it was all just like, the relatable YouTubers that are on trend now and on brand now, right? The skinny white girls who are very slim and model-esque and, are very real and quirky and relatable, the Emma Chamberlains and so forth and so on. So I've been watching a lot of videos for the past week or so about this issue, and it was first brought up by one of the girls who went on the trip, literally had a breakdown on camera on one of her vlogs where she was crying, and she kept talking about how she felt out of place and she felt uncomfortable. And she wasn't gonna come right out and say why that was, but from watching the vlog and seeing the difference in the accommodations of the black girls or other minority girls versus the accommodations of all the other white girls on the trip, there was definitely a stark contrast in the way the women were being treated, or young girls were being treated. And it was very obvious and very clear. And she didn't feel comfortable enough to come out and really say the truth of what she was feeling. But we all knew, and especially as a minority female myself, like as a black woman, I knew exactly what she was saying and exactly how she was feeling. And my heart broke for her watching her break down in that vlog. And she just kept saying, I feel uncomfortable, like I feel like an outcast, like I feel like I don't belong here. And we all knew exactly what she was talking about. And so that spurred several other commentator influencers to make videos on the topic. And one of them was It's Keisha. I believe I'm pronouncing her channel name right. All these videos will be linked down below. She was the first person that I ran across who was talking about this, and she brought it up so eloquently and just so well. And she's a YouTuber from, I believe she lives in the UK, and she really just got me thinking. And I just thought it was interesting that we were discussing this on BookTube back in the fall, and now YouTube is discussing it. The lack of diversity on this platform and the way that different influencers are treated based on the color of their skin and not just the numbers, because the color of their skin is directly correlated to their numbers or the lack thereof. And now we come to the James Charles scandal that has exploded in the past 48 to 72 hours. And I am just cackling, right? Like I am just sitting here watching these videos, sipping my tea, and just enjoying the downfall of James Charles. And I do not say that lightly. I'm not the type of person that enjoys people's downfalls, But I'm enjoying his downfall, and I'm gonna tell you why. I have peeped his behavior from almost from the beginning, since he made those really offensive and racist tweets when CoverGirl was taking him to South Africa, and he said, "Oh my God, South Africa, I'm gonna catch Ebola." I canceled him then. I was like, you know what? I cannot support him. I wanted to support him, I wanted to support this, queer male beauty influencer, paving the road for other queer males who are trying to do the beauty thing. And he was so young, and I was like, wow, they made him a cover girl. This is great. But I peeped it from back then. I was like, something's wrong with him. He is clearly prejudiced. He clearly has racist views. He clearly has something against Black people. I'm done. And I stopped supporting him right then. I vowed never to watch a makeup tutorial, never to watch anything on his channel, never to support anything, never to buy anything that he was even a part of. I have not bought his makeup palettes. I even stopped purchasing CoverGirl products because the company has continued to support him. It really disappointed me when I saw celebrities continue to work with him. One of the we used to call them beauty gurus back in the day, but I guess they call influencers now. But one of the beauty gurus that I have loved almost from the very beginning, I have been watching YouTube since its inception, and I have been following this beauty guru damn near since the beginning, or beauty influencer now, and that is Tati Westbrook. And when I saw her become friends with James Charles and embrace him and take him under her wing and just always have him on her channel, I unsubscribed, and I had been subscribed to her for years, damn near since the beginning, okay? I unsubscribed and I distanced myself, and I was very disappointed, and I was very horrified by the fact that she continued to support him past all of his many scandals, past all of the many racist and just creepy things that he said, especially the things that he's said about straight males and his predatory tweets and predatory behavior. I mean, I've been peeping all these things. I do not follow James Charles, but I am not immune, and I am not in a bubble. I am not locked up in a closet somewhere. I'm aware of the things that are going on in the other sectors of YouTube, and I am a booktuber, and I'm not as active as I should be, but I am an active and avid watcher of YouTube, and I am a huge supporter of the beauty community. I mean, I have watched numerous beauty influencers for years and supported them for years, and I stay up to date with the community because that was the first YouTube community that I really connected with and clicked with and fell in love with back in the day when I first started watching YouTube. That was the community that really brought me to YouTube, and I contemplated making a beauty channel when I realized that I wanted to become a part of the YouTube community, and I wasn't sure where I was going to fit in. For years I thought that I would be in the makeup world, and now I'm in the book world. So I know what's going on in the beauty community, do not get me wrong. So I have been observing all of these things, and when I tell you the past 48 hours have been such a relief to me, have been such a feeling of just joy, in the sense that I can finally have my faith in humanity back, and the fact that this man had 16 million subscribers and so many impressionable young people were looking up to him and following him, despite the many instances of him proving that he is a horrible human being, that he is racist, that he is predatory, that he holds some at least prejudiced and very sick thoughts and beliefs, and he's done some really sickening things, his selfish actions, his manipulative ways, his sociopathic behavior. I could go on. And there are many smaller influencers that I follow, many of them not only in the beauty community but also who are commentators, and they make comments, they make commentary on things that are going on YouTube across the board, and mostly making mostly making commentary on things going on in the beauty community. They have spoken up about James Charles many times and pointed out his behavior and pointed out the things that he's done that are just abhorrent and predatory and inexcusable, and no one listened to them because they were smaller creators and smaller channels and not as important. But Tati Westbrook comes out with a video called Bye Sister and ends James Charles's career. And she is the one who finally makes people wake up and realize that this person is toxic and predatory and terrible, and that we need to cancel him and excommunicate him from the community at large. And that is so problematic in so many different ways. The fact that she continued to support him despite knowing his belief system, despite knowing how he was, despite knowing his character, she continued to back him, support him, get him out of so many different issues that he found himself in, rescuing him time and time again. She continued to have his back in a weirdly unconditional love type of way, despite knowing how toxic he was and is. And now, because he's crossed her and he's done something to betray her trust and he's done something to hurt her personally, now it's time to cancel him. Now she's going to expose him. Now she's going to speak on, things that he's done and how she's done and fed up, and how we also need to cancel him as well because he's hurt her and he's done all these things to her. And because she comes from a place of privilege, being one of the OG beauty influencers or beauty gurus, being a white woman who has, a substantial platform on YouTube, because she has all of this going for her, we listen to her. But we didn't listen to the many smaller creators and minority YouTubers who had been pointing this out about James Charles for years. We didn't listen to them, but we're going to listen to her. And that just goes hand in hand, you guys. If you guys don't see how this goes hand in hand with the diversity conversation here that has spilled over into general YouTube, then I don't know what to tell you. If this is not proof that this thing is so real and so widespread and prevalent in the community at large, and is not just specific to just BookTube or specific to just any one sector of YouTube, but it's prevalent throughout this YouTube community, that I don't know what's going to tell you. I don't know what's going to open your eyes if you do not see it. And I just find it so ironic that a conversation that we were having so in depth on our little YouTube world in BookTube has now become this huge conversation on YouTube at large, and it's being spurred by so many different events and so many different situations that have been occurring within the past few weeks. And if you don't think that it's odd that a James Charles, a white gay man who has so many problematic, said so many problematic things, right? And has so many problematic opinions and actions and is toxic as hell. If someone like him can have 16 million subscribers, but someone like a Jackie Aina, who is this, don't get me wrong, she's done some problematic and some shady things as well, but overall, from the time that I've supported her and watched her, I find her overall to be a good, decent person, an amazing makeup artist, very creative, very talented, very driven, but she is a black woman, can barely have, what does she have, 2 million or 4 million? I don't know the exact number, I'm so sorry. But if he can have substantially more subscribers than she can, don't you see the disparity? And they work in the same community, and she has not displayed the same abhorrent behaviors and beliefs that he has, and yet he has more success than she does. And this was a conversation that I was kind of having with God to make this even more serious. This past, since January began, just 2019, and I just kept talking about, why does it seem that the people who are undeserving are always rewarded, right? Why does it seem like the people who are horrible human beings always have the most grace and the most favor, and they seem to always get the most success, or at least it looks that way? And why does it seem like the people who work twice as hard and are amazing people and are twice or even 3 times or even 1,000,000 times more talented, well-spoken, well-rounded, just all around good, decent people, do not get the same level of recognition as these other people? And it's sad when it has to come down to something like skin tone or skin color or even gender. And on a platform like YouTube, where it is definitely all about making money, it is so obvious and so clear that these dynamics exist and these divisions exist, that you can simply just look at someone's subscriber count to support that. So I don't think that it is a coincidence this conversation is now happening throughout YouTube. I think it is an important conversation to have, and I want more minority creators to stand up and speak out, because this conversation is so important. It doesn't matter how uncomfortable it makes other people. It doesn't matter how uncomfortable it makes your subscribers. This conversation needs to continue, because it is making people wake up and open their eyes to realize that this is real. And it's not something that is, you know, Teddy, ruining lives. It is not something that is just, you know, quarantined or something specific to BookTube or you know, the beauty community or the gamer community or whatever community. It is very prevalent. It's Keisha said something on her channel that I thought was very, very telling. And she was just like, you know, speaking for Black girls on YouTube, we are very, very, very narrowed down to the kind of content we can make. If it's not about hair, like natural hair, or making wigs or weaves, or it's not, you know, having a gossip channel or being, you know, a beauty influencer, there are not many avenues of success here on YouTube. You know, other races of women, primarily white women, and of course white men, because they run this shit, are allowed to be gamers, are allowed to be DIYers, are allowed to have cooking channels and successful vlogging channels, are allowed to have highly and hugely successful channels in all these other avenues. But we are restricted to these little, like 3 or 4 avenues. And if it's not one of those, and if people can't put us in a box because, oh, you're a Black woman, why aren't you making videos about natural hair or weaves, or why aren't you, you know, why don't you run a gossip channel? If it's not one of those, why aren't you a beauty guru? Then it's weird and it's out of place, and oh, I don't know if I want to watch. And the comments on Black women's channels like, oh, I'm white, but I still enjoy watching you. Don't you see how weird that sounds? Like you can't relate to me because I'm Black? What? I watch so many different YouTubers from all across the board, so many white, Asian, other Black, obviously, YouTubers. I have to support my Black sisters and brothers. Mixed. There was a point in time where I was primarily watching Asian YouTubers because I really loved Michelle Phan, and I was finding so many Asian DIYers and vloggers that I was enjoying watching. And I just find, and never once did I think to myself, I'm Black, but I still watch you. What? If you guys don't see how truly sad and disturbing that line of thought is, then I don't know what to tell you. I can't help you then. But I have gone off on a tangent. But I say all of that to say, this is what we were talking about when we were talking about diversity on BookTube. This is what we were talking about when we were talking about why am I not getting the same amount of subscribers as this person. And it's not like oh, woe is me. Oh, me. Oh, my content sucks. Oh, I need to upload more often. No, it's the fact that you look at my thumbnail, you run across my channel, if you even run across my channel, because let's face it, my channel is not being promoted like Becky's or Susan's, no offense, but it's not. It's not being recommended to you like theirs. If you even stumble across my channel for some reason, you don't subscribe, or maybe you click away because you don't relate to me. Or if you do watch me, I watch you even though. You see how that's disturbing? You see why that can get people upset and riled up, and why that needs to be a discussion that's had, so maybe you can figure out why you feel that way and start to have some thoughts. So I am revisiting this conversation again. Let's see, October was what, 8 months ago? November, December, January, February, March, April, May. Wow, 7 months ago. And we are here once again. And I just think it is so interesting that this conversation has exploded onto YouTube in general. So definitely let me know your thoughts, comments down below. Are you feeling the same way I'm feeling? Am I whining again? Am I just whining? Oh, the poor little Black girl that nobody was subscribed to. Because I know some of you guys are going to make those comments. So I did it for you. Got it out of the way. But yeah, just let me know how you feel down below. Sorry I look crazy. It's Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day to all you moms out there. I just had to get on and make this video because I had to get some things off the chest. And I just knew that if I didn't film it now, it wasn't going to get filmed. That's it. I will catch you guys later. Mwah. Bye.